Hello everyone, this is Pragmatic Thoughts. Recently, I've been playing a lot of Fallout New Vegas. After playing Fallout 4 when it came out, I went back to play the other games in the series. I beat Fallout 3, but dropped New Vegas in a couple of days because it wasn't fun to me then. After approaching the game with a more open mind, I see that it's brilliant. Fallout New Vegas is a different but excellent take on Bethesda's 3D Fallout formula. It's a game that focuses on relationships and is realistic instead of over the top like the other Bethesda Fallout games. It isn't a perfect game though. One of my biggest complaints with this game is the protagonist. You may ask, aren't you the protagonist? Which technically, yes, I am the protagonist. But I don't define the character. The pre-established background that Obsidian created defines the character. Before the game, your character is known simply as Courier 6, who has grown up in the wasteland and made his own choices, which leads to him being shot in the head. Then you, the player, wake up as Courier 6. So up until waking up in Doc Mitchell's house, we have a predefined life regardless of who the player is. In a genre that focuses on player choice rather than developer choice, we are rather restricted with our protagonist's history. This isn't the case with the other games in the Fallout series. In Fallout 1, 3, and 4, the game starts with you leaving the vault. The character you created has been sheltered in the vault like the player has been sheltered in society. Both the player and the character have to break free of shelters to explore the twisted wasteland that lies outside of the known security. In Fallout 2, the only game besides New Vegas that doesn't have the protagonist start in a vault, you are a descendant of the protagonist from the first game. While your character doesn't come from the bubble of a vault, living in their tribe, they still have limited experiences with the world. In addition to this, it's a direct sequel, so it's more or less returning to the same world instead of going into a brand new experience. Play the first game before the second if you feel disconnected from the world. On the other hand, Fallout New Vegas opens the game with Courier 6 being shot in the head and getting amnesia, so he doesn't remember anything about his background. For some, this may work as a means for the player and the character to have new shared experiences, but to me this is a cop-out. Since I'm playing a pre-established character, I shouldn't be able to change them. Let's just say that before being shot in the head, Courier 6 was a baller and hunted down Deathclaws for fun. When the game picks up, I actively keep away from Deathclaws because I'm a pussy, but that might not be what Courier 6 does. This is an extreme example, but it's supposed to demonstrate the possible change in persona to start the game. If you think about it, a courier has to constantly walk, and being a courier isn't a very good job. Naturally, strength and endurance would be defining stats that led to you being a courier. So giving myself 10 intelligence feels wrong for the established character. In Lonesome Road, the fourth and last DLC to New Vegas, we learn a bit about the Courier 6. Our character wasn't originally supposed to be Courier 6. Rather, it was supposed to be a man named Ulysses. Ulysses dropped out when he saw that the courier's name was on the list, something that was subtly mentioned to you when you were in Prim. You and Ulysses have a rather complicated background that won't be discussed in this video, but it's one that's thrusted upon you rather than one the player chooses. I hate that as a player with no experiences in New Vegas, I'm forced to play as a character who's extremely experienced, who's grown up in this fucked up world, and worse yet, travels a lot as a courier delivering packages. Let's look at another RPG series, The Legend of Zelda. In each of these games, the hero that you play as, whether it's the hero of time or the hero of winds, your character has a simple background, living in a secluded town with limited exposure to the world. Whatever hero you play as has a background, but what's important is that you are forced to go on a grand adventure, one that both the protagonist and the player experience. Some games, like Majora's Mask and Link's Awakening, have a more experienced hero, but if you want to, go to the prior games and live those experiences as well. For me, a big aspect of RPGs is that both the player and the protagonist are exposed to the same new experiences. So the fact that everyone enters the game as the same courier really irritates me. Standing an otherwise impeccable game. But those are just my thoughts. Type what you think of the game in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. If you like the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. More content, including Fallout New Vegas content, will be coming out soon.